George Kilpatrick Inspiration for the Nation, celebrating people we feel good about. It's always good when you can bring on partners. And the CFAC, the Community Folk Arts Center, is one of our partners. Dr. Tanisha Jackson heads the Community Folk Arts Center, and she's here to tell us about some programming coming up, and especially one happening this Friday. Tanisha, what's going on this Friday coming up December the 8th?
Yes. So thank you for having me, first of all. And hello, everyone who's watching Inspiration for the Nation. I am so excited about our annual Kwanzaa program that we have at the Community Folk Arts Center. It is such a joy for us to bring community under the umbrella of such a culturally conducive, right, event. And I'm especially happy because George, you're again for the second year, right? Going to be the MC, host the Kwanzaa event, and really tell us about the significance of what this all is, what this particular holiday is. So last year was an amazing turnout. We had a lot of people like performing. So we had singers, we had dancers, we had pianists, we had the libation, and we have just beautifully, artistically, culturally events taking place or activities taking place within this one event. So it was great. It'll be great this year too.
Looking forward to it. So it'll be what time Friday, December the 8th?
Yes, so beginning at 7 p.m. and it's going to be in the Black Box Theater at the Community Folk Arts Center. We're located at 805 East Genesee Street, and we're going to start 7 p.m. sharp.
What's wonderful about this, and for those of you who don't know what Kwanzaa is celebrated December 26th through January 1st, 7 principles. And for a lot of people, they heard about Kwanzaa, they're not sure what to do with Kwanzaa. If you come on the 8th, we'll show you how to do it. We'll show you what the principles are. We'll talk about what the principles mean. There's 7 of them. We'll give you some tips on how you can celebrate when Kwanzaa actually happens on the 26th of December, and show you, just really put the biggest thing that I think you'll get out of coming to the Community Folk Arts Center's Kwanzaa, but which, by the way, I will be a part of in partnership with CFAC. It is the community that
Yes.
we bring together,
Mhm.
affirming one another in our heritage, in our ancestry, to really coalesce as community, as Black folk. And I know for example, Kwanzaa is an African American holiday. A lot of people aren't sure about that, but it brings in African cultural traditions. And I was thinking about you, Tanisha, because I don't know how many times you've been to Ghana, but I know you recently went to Ghana. And what was that like? And
Oh,
how does that what does that do for you, knowing that you've been through that culture, and then coming back and bringing that back to the community?
yes. So first of all, it was my first time to Ghana, not on the continent because I've been to South Africa,
Hmm.
but to be in the western region, right, of the continent that has so much connectivity to, the African American legacy. Um, it was a life-changing trip. I have
Mm.
to say, I've been a lot of
Life
places,
changing.
life-changing.
Different than South Africa.
I would say yes, based off of the experience I've had in South Africa, which seemed very westernized. And don't get me wrong, South Africa is a beautiful country to visit as
Hmm.
well.
Hmm.
Cape
Hmm.
Town, by far, one of my favorite cities, although that's changing the more I travel. But when you step foot on Ghana and Accra and Cape Coast, there's something very special about those spaces, right? This country where they have such a rich heritage of Pan Africanism. When we think about Kwame Nkrumah, who led a nation to independence, right? There's something to be said about the pride that they have about being the first, country to be an independent country, right? African nation, to go to Independence Square, to see where very, famous speeches were given to talk about the liberation of all African people.
Mm.
And there's something very touching to and profound to really go visit. They call them slave castles. I call them slave dungeons.
Mm.
When you go to Elmina and when you go to Cape Coast castles, and even some of the smaller, places that imprison, right, captives, stolen people, and held them before they boarded slave ships to go across the Atlantic. You touch the walls, you see where they were held and how some of them were tortured, how they were separated, families never to see, right, their communities, their families again, ever again. It is very profound to not only see that and understand that people survive that, but we are the descendants, those who are of African descent. We are a part of that, right? Not in many people in this country have come, other ways as well, but for the most part, that people survived. And because of that, right, we are here. And so to have that connectivity, to have what some people see as a return home, right? Even if your people didn't come through those particular, gates, if you will, the door of no return, symbolically to go back and to have your feet touch the soil and to hear the story and to understand that, we have work to do, right? And we can be so proud, right, of our existence now is something that I experience. And then beyond that, because some of that, you know, may be connected to trauma. However, it's very celebratory there. There's so much arts and culture. You know, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Drumming, dancing, painting. There's a whole art center. I went to Akuma Village. One of the people in our community, he has a community there and a performing arts center there. And I'm blanking on his name, but David Nayadezor, he
Hmm.
teaches drumming here at the Community Folk Arts Center. I was with him and other people from our community who traveled to Ghana at that time and to go through a rites of passage. And it was just very, very wonderful to see how what they've learned in Syracuse is connected back to master teachers there. And they bring it back to our community and share it with everyone else.
When you stood in, which castle did you go to?
Both,
Both. Take
twice.
me inside when you're standing there and what you how what were the feelings in that moment?
Mhm. So the first time I went twice to both locations. The first time I went, I was into trying to capture, everything. We're so connected to our phones and cameras, and I'm taking pictures and I hear the stories. And as a professor, because that's my role as well, I've taught
Research.
right. I've taught
Right.
history, right? And so, so I was really caught up in trying to document.
Hmm.
But the second time that I visited, I allowed myself to feel. I allowed myself to really take it in, to really smell the air, to really think about, things beyond trying to capture the moment. And I think that's important because um, to have a slowing down process when you go to such a sacred space
Hmm.
and to really think about what transpired there, it's again, it's not something that people can easily do. People don't go to Ghana every day. If you live in the United States, it is an investment on many levels. And so for me, that second time around at these locations, it really allowed me to be in a space where it wasn't academic, right?
Hmm.
But it can eat for some people, they may even describe it as being very spiritual. Mhm.
Would you describe it that way?
I would say so because when I tap into and I think about my purpose, right, and what it means for me to come from people who are resilient,
Hmm.
people who are creatives, people who are all of those things, survivors, and how, what they went through, these insurmountable odds in comparison to, the first world problems that we have. And I'm not minimizing people's problems. People are going through things right now. But it reminds me that there's nothing too hard for us to overcome. And and on an individual level, you understand that, but I'm reminded much more how collectively, right, it is important for us to come together and think about that. And that's why I love Kwanzaa, because I think Kwanzaa takes us back right to the collective.
The collective.
Kwanzaa and then and having that experience in Ghana, it will be even more significant for me this year.
Seven principles: unity, Kujijakalia, Ujima, Umoja, Nia, um, Kuumba, and Imani, right? Those are the seven principles. And interestingly, right, each one of those principles, there's some collective, right, that is, we're talking about unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. All of those things together, right, speak exactly to what you were talking about. So I'm glad we tied that together, because it's a perfect way for people to be prepared for the experience that they're going to have next Friday, this Friday coming up, the 8th, at 7 o'clock, CFAC 819 East Genesee Street. Now, what else you got going on at the Community Folk Arts Center, which, by the way, Tanisha, probably should take 30 seconds for people that don't know what CFAC is and its significance as a bridge to the community and the campus.
You mean they don't know? Oh,
Girl, no, I'm not saying that they don't know, but it's an
well, let,
opportunity for
yeah,
those that may not know,
and
huh?
to remind others who we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah, yeah. Let's remind people the significance of what CFAC is to the community and the university.
well, this around this time last year, we were celebrating our 50th anniversary, and
Mm.
we brought Ailey to the Landmark Theater.
Oh, was that a year ago?
That wasn't a year
Wow.
ago. Actually, it was late November. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we just made a year, and
Mm-hmm.
so from there, things have only increased. The activity at the Community Folk Arts Center, we are rocking and rolling. So that on any given night, we have a Creative Arts Academy of young people. Actually, specifically from Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 6 p.m. And I'm so proud about how that program is robust, and it has really increased in participation and also activities. We have a free strings program so that our young people in the community have access to learning violin, viola, cello, and bass. And in addition to that, we have a lot of adults classes, art classes. So we have ceramics, ballet, African drum and piano, and everything in between. But there's also a lot of collaboration and people from the community bringing their gifts and talents to the Community Folk Arts Center. So Tony Island International Live Jazz is a monthly event in the Black Box Theater where we've seen a lot of wonderful people from our community come to sing spoken word poetry. They, share that. We have a live band, and that's coming up December 1st before the Kwanzaa event. We also have Poetry for the People. It's a showcase, and that's December 11th. That's in our Black Box Theater. And we have plays, finals with Martika Williams, and that's December 15th through the 16th. So we're rounding out the year with a lot of activity. When a lot of people are slowing down, we've revved it up. Now, I don't know if that's smart because we do it, but it is what it is. And I think it is because we are, community is in our name. And I tell people all the time, we're nothing without the community. You make us who we are, and we value you showing up, your participation, and then also the rich programming that you also bring to the Community Folk Arts Center.
Beautiful. And so one of those programs is going to be the Community Folk Arts Center Kwanzaa celebration, December the 8th, this Friday, 7 p.m. sharp. And there will be a lot of opportunities for us to be together as a collective community. And one of the challenges that I give out to the audience is to be prepared to think about how you, for the year 2024, might live out one of the seven principles in your own way, right? We'll have the year theme for you all next week, but think about how you might live one of those 7 principles that we talked about, and take it from there. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
We
Anything
love
else we should know about Tanisha happening at the Community Folk Arts Center?
There's one more thing that I want for you to put on your radar, the community to put on their radar, is that we have a beautiful exhibit, a Love Supreme.
That's what
It's
I was going to ask you about. Thank you.
yes,
Is that still there?
it
Yes.
is still here, and it's going to sunset. We're going to have a sunset ceremony. And that's to be determined. So I think, or let me think about that. It might be, don't quote me on it. We will post it on our social media. I think we're still working it out, but this is a beautiful exhibition that showcases the Black arts movement,
Mm-hmm.
Black cultural expression and political activism of the 60s, of the 1960s and 1970s. And
Mm-hmm.
so please come see this exhibit, see, archives that reflect the Syracuse community and what was going on in the nation during the Black arts movement. And so you still have time. In fact, we will deinstall it mid-January, but the gallery is open to the public up until December 21st, I believe.
So you come to the Kwanzaa, and you can also look at the Love Supreme exhibition. Can't wait. So I'm good. I know I'm going to see it. Join me and this Community Folk Arts Center for Kwanzaa on December the 8th, 7 p.m. And CFAC at syr.edu, right? Is that your website? What's your website?
So our website is communityfolkartscenter.org, and we're located at 805 East
I said
Genesee.
819. I don't know where I got that from.
Yeah, but I
805.
that's on the back end. I was gonna, yeah.
You gonna fix it for me? You gonna fix it?
I was gonna
805 East Genesee Street.
805. Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't know what's that 819, but
I don't know either.
it's
You
not
know
us.
what? I think I'm putting together a whole lot of things.
That's cool. I got you.
I'm putting a lot of things together. All right. 805 East Genesee Street, 805 East Genesee Street, 805 East Genesee Street. See you there December 8th, 7 p.m. for the Community Folk Arts Center Kwanzaa celebration for 2023. Inspiration for the Nation with Dr. Tanisha Jackson. Thank you so much.